Hello and welcome to Chuffing Trains. For today's video I thought I would compare two Hornby models from the Thomas & Friends range. These are R9232 Edward and the newer DCC ready current version R9289. Obviously the immediate difference you can see in the packaging with the newer style with the light blue and the icebox plastic. Looking on the rear of the boxes that show the model range, you can really see how the range is so much smaller these days. With the old box showing Duck, Toby, Bill, Ben and some of the circus wagons, all long gone from the range. But I think rather than looking at the boxes, let's look at the models. And here they are. So here we have our two Edwards. In the foreground is the older version, which is the R9232. And then in the background we've got the newer version, which is the R9289. Looking at the models, I think you can clearly see that the new Edward is a much lighter shade of blue, which is consistent with the other models such as Thomas and Gordon, who in their latest versions do seem a much lighter colour. The major thing that stands out for me is the quality of the paintwork. It seems so much crisper and cleaner on the old model rather than the new one. Looking at the outline around the windows, it just seems a nicer finish on the old Edward, and also the red lining is much thinner and a bit crisper. I'll see if I can get a close-up to show you what I actually mean. So here we have the new Edward, and you can see, I mean, just the glazing seems a little bit wonky, and yeah, you look at the yellow outline around the windows, and then you look at the red lining below, and it just doesn't seem particularly well applied. I mean, on the Hornby forums there have been several posts about the actual red lining and the paintwork being crooked, and some of the pictures that people show, I mean, the quality is terrible. Although I would say, I mean, I'm kind of fairly happy with my Edward to a degree, until you actually start comparing them with the old one, and the differences are really noticeable. So here we have the older Edward, and I think you can see straight away just the red outlining at the bottom, just how smoother and cleaner it seems to be, and thinner as well. And then the yellow, again, the finish just seems so much better around the windows. So one major difference I haven't mentioned is that there's a permanent connection to the tender on the newer model, as it is DCC ready. The tender comes apart fairly easily, and there's no screws like on some other tenders. They simply unhook. So I'll see if I can do that now. So it can sometimes be a little bit tricky. So see if I can. There we go. So that's that one. I'll bring in this one, and again it should just, there we go. Just unclips quite easily. So as you can see, there's quite a difference between the old Ringfield motor, which I've hardwired. So if we're spinning around, this is the old Ringfield. And you can see here where I've effectively soldered, and there's the decoder that's been put in there. And I think that was a Hornby R9249 decoder. So if we bring in the newer one, there we go. That does look quite smart. So here you can see where it's literally, you just plug in for DCC ready. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just plug that in there. You can see the newest kind of motor, and there's the decoder, which I need to blue tack in actually. I've actually put an R8245 sapphire decoder. I mean, I wouldn't normally put sapphire decoders in the smaller Thomas models, but I had some spare and I didn't want to go and buy new decoders. So here we go, I'll just pop that back on there. You can hear that click into place. If we do this one, again, get it the right way around. There we go, so they're both back on now. There we go, there they are. Just so you can see both models. With the new releases of Gordon, Henry, James and Edward, and they're all now DCC ready, although they're all tender driven apart from Henry, who now has the motor in the loco itself. But one word of warning, there is not much space to fit a decoder, so I can't remember the exact make I bought to fit into Henry, but it was certainly a smaller decoder. I think it was one of the small DCC concepts. So if we have a look at another difference is the actual, oh I think he's come off slightly, there we go. Is the actual faces, if I can zoom in, there we go. So on the newer model the face has been altered slightly, so our new Edward is now on our right hand side and the older Edward's on the left, and you can see that I think there's a slight change in the eyes and also the eyebrows, but it's a good looking face. Although I must, and I suppose I should mention the lamp irons being the wrong way round, but we'll skip over that, and they do seem to be glued in as well from Hornby, otherwise you could flip them round, but we'll leave them like that, and the old Edward have put them in the wrong way just to be consistent really, which seems a bit daft. But the one thing I was going to see if you could see, again, is just around the quality really. When you look at the top there, and I don't know whether the lighter blue doesn't seem to do him any favours, but yeah, the quality just doesn't seem to be there with the newer Thomas models, which is a real shame. Actually, one thing I did want to show was I bought this sort of re-railer. It's from Cato. It was only £2 or £3 from the local model shop, and I can't believe I didn't have one of these previously. So literally you just we'll pop him on there, and down he goes, straight onto the track. And yeah, I've been obviously model railways for a number of years, and I've never actually had one of those, and now I've actually got one. I can't believe I've spent all these years not actually having one. So here we go, we've got our two Edwards. I think that's probably enough of me talking, and we'll get them on the track and we'll get them running. So here we are at the track. If we bring our first Edward round, here he comes. Here he is. Yeah, I haven't actually had this one out for a while, and I have to say, he's not sounding that great. The old ring-filled motor. Here he is. There's the one. So, if we bring the newer Edward as well, if I actually get him coming the right way, it would help. Here he comes. I mean, I must admit, for all sort of saying about the paintwork and the quality, just getting these two out and actually running them and having the DCC ready newer version with a newer motor, I have to say performance wise he is much better. Here he is. So there we go. There are our two Edwards actually on the track. So I was just saying about performance, and I think if we get this one, the newer DCC ready going, we'll see. This is me there. I mean, it's such a light touch on the controller, and yeah, I mean, you can see that. I mean, it's great control really. If I just show you the controller, it's a select. If you go in, you can see there that it's barely registering. And as I say, we look at the model, and yeah, and he's just crawling. If we give him a bit more speed, right then, I think we will get these guys moving. He doesn't sound very healthy, does he? So from Chuffing Trains and from Edward and Edward, just to say thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I was going to say, if there is anything you want to see running, I don't know if you noticed in the background there was Spencer, Emily, Murdoch, I think Gordon was on there as well. So yeah, so if there is anything you want to see running, just pop it in the comments. I think I did one of the double tender Flying Scotsman previously. So yeah, so if there is anything, then let me know. So anyway, from Chuffing Trains, thanks very much. Goodbye.